kind of bummer, lost his games
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. That was sad.
Yeah, go see if we're okay on that, if we're ready here. Tell you what, Chad, you wanna set up there and I'll give,
You over here?
the middle.
In the middle. Oh boy.
Greg's supposed to be here. I don't know where he was in Missouri, but he was somewhere. He's got a place down on the Gulf.
I
And,
thought I saw him something about something in Florida.
yeah, and, he's down there trying to get it straightened around. I think it was hurricane damage. He's having to tear all the sheetrock and
Oh
everything out.
boy.
So, Cameron, this is Mike. We're going to put you on speakerphone. We got Chad here, and Greg Clemens will be joining us here directly. But we're just about ready to go live. Okay, here we go. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good deal.
Haven't even got started and you're already in trouble.
Mary, I'm going to go live here. Well, we are on YouTube, but we're going live on Facebook. All right? Here we went. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Works Local Racing Roundup. Glad to have you with us here tonight, and I think we are going to be talking some open wheel racing, and then we've got one of those "Where Are They Now" guys, which are always interesting because it's so much fun, I think, to catch up with them, and plus some of the stories that they have to tell. Plus, as you know, Cameron Key is going to be our guest also, and we've got his car owner here, Chad Shields, at the table with us, and want to welcome both of you guys on the show. It's a pleasure. As I told Cameron, pardon me? You got to be kidding me. That's wonderful. Here comes Greg right now. How's that? Of course, it'll take you about 30 minutes.
I was hoping to give you some live entertainment.
That was the entertainment.
Anything, Mary?
What do you think?
Yeah, it should come
How
on
you
after
doing?
that.
Good. Good to see you.
I unplugged it, plugged it back in.
You have to forgive me. I just blew in off the road.
We got it now.
We're here.
Okay, let's start over. Welcome everybody to the Works Local Racing Roundup. Glad to have you with us tonight. We are going to be doing some open wheel racing tonight, as well as one of those "Where Are They Now" guys, which it's so much fun, like I say, to catch up with them and find out what's happening with them right now. But at this moment, we've got Cameron Key on the phone, and we've got his car owner here, Chad Shields, and Greg Clemens at the table. Greg just fresh back from the Florida, whatever.
Run out of gas state.
Did you have much trouble buying gas?
Yeah.
Did you really have?
The stories are true.
Wow.
And people, gas stations sold clear out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've learned where all the small towns are now, so I can find gas.
Pull into one of them. What was the price of gas?
It wasn't that bad. It's like $2.69.
Well, heck, that's cheaper than here. I saw $2.81 today.
Yep.
That's crazy.
My first question is who's the awesome Tasmanian Devil Camaro is that outside?
That'd be the motorway.
That's Vic's.
That's cool.
Yeah, from your grandson.
Oh, really? Oh,
Gorgeous car. We need to show
Boy,
that.
that is. I was thought, man.
One, it's a,
Yeah. Anyway.
I had Tasmanian Devil on my race car when I was 16.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I love that.
my grandson was.
Let's say hi to Cameron. How you doing, Cameron?
Doing Doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're hanging in there. I think we got everything figured out here tonight. But
Hi, Cameron. It's Greg.
Greg Clemens, track announcer out at KC Raceway. He interviewed you
Hey,
after
Greg.
the race last week. But we got Chad here with us, and Chad and I have been talking racing here while we were waiting for the show to start. Some interesting conversations, which is always interesting. I like to talk to the car owners. But, man, a great run at KC Raceway last Friday.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good night, and everything went our way, and I'm excited to build on that and keep it going into the future weeks.
I think that was more than a great run. Everybody's scratching their heads.
Well, as I was talking with Chad earlier,
Wow.
I think that between the two of you, you guys have just raised the level of competition in the Power Eye Central States Racing Series considerably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Chad's. I've known him for a long time. Back when he used to have micros, and I ran at Sweet Springs all the time. He's a smart guy and got nice equipment. And you think you put those two things together, and he believes in me, and all came together. And I think it'd be a really good season if we run that Power Eye Central States midget group. A lot of local tracks, good tracks, and I think we'll have some success.
I have to ask you, Chad, how many hours a week do you have to put in on that midget to make sure everything's ready for Cameron to apply his skills to it?
Well, Jerry Leibarger, he's been with me forever, 10 years, 12 years. Between the two of us, we put about 40 hours a week.
40.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's nonstop every night.
Shows.
Holy
Every night.
smokes.
It's only, what is this, May? I've changed motors 3 times already. I've had some engine issues, and it's been crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to put in the time.
Yeah.
It's, that's the thing where the failures and the part failures, and that's where you win the races is in the shop. And everybody knows that, but, I'm no different than anybody else. I put in my time. You got people like Cameron, I sold his dad their first micro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that one, Cameron, or not, but I can't even remember how many years ago, 07, 08, and just kind of kept in touch the whole time, and Clint and Boyles, and the whole families, good people.
Yeah.
And Cameron and I have been talking for a while and trying to get together, and his schedule and my schedule were off, and got a chance to get together, and after Friday night, I said, you're not going anywhere. We're going racing. So you got to put everything on hold.
Yeah.
Cameron, we've got the whole barrage of questions from the past and stuff like that, but I want to start off with, had you seen that car race, the 44S, before you got behind the wheel of it?
Yeah, I saw. I saw Andrew drive it some last year, and then we raced Silly Bowl, and so we had that down there, and so I'd seen what Chad was doing and building his program, and we talked about driving before, but I knew it'd be good stuff, and it all just came together the right way.
Well, I'd like to point out my first observation as the announcer and talking to some of the other drivers who are baffled.
Baffled. I like that.
You drove the same line almost identically that Andrew Felker took when he was there. Right, Chad?
Yep.
Yeah.
Andrew ran a top a lot. Cameron did. Cameron was real good in 3 and 4 around the top, and I never got a chance to tell him. I was trying to give him the okay signal, but he was real good in 1 and 2 on the bottom too, and it was hard to get off the bottom
I noticed
in 1
that,
and
yeah.
2.
It seemed like he went to the bottom every time.
Yeah.
That's a unique little racetrack, and from the micro guys right up to the midget guys, everybody seems to be a tad intimidated about the top side of the racetrack. Well, first of all, I know there's something unique about it, but did you sense anything odd of making a lap around that racetrack, different than any other racetrack?
I wouldn't say odd. It is a little bit different that the outside wall is like a square, and it's not rounded. It's
Right.
got like a 4 straight lines rather than a rounded corner. So you get to the middle of the corner, and the wall kind of sneaks up on you a little bit. But, the way the racetrack was, I actually thought it was pretty good and a lot of fun.
Well, I think there's a lot of hope after people realize that you can race on the high side. More drivers realize that. But as a former driver myself, I guess my eyesight's not good enough to see the cushion. I would guide myself around with the outer perimeter of the wall if I was to race there. That's what I think a lot of guys.
Well, that straightaway wall would come up fast for
Yeah.
you then.
All right.
So
It looks like they moved that out about
Right.
8-10 foot.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Cameron. But man, it was a fantastic showing. I mean, we had there was no slouches there. There were some top-notch cars there, and hats off to Chad Freewalt and his stable of cars. I mean, they brought that Power Eye
Central States.
backing Central
Yeah,
State Midget Series to life. First night, I mean, it was an inaugural night for that series. Cameron, do you feel confident that series is going to take off and fly?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my Uncle Joe, I remember he kind of had a little series several years ago, and his dad, Ray. And between those, and I feel like there's always been, a core of 8 to 10 midgets around the Kansas City area, and so I think that you have the racers there, and you have the tracks around. I know Dennis Stroud at Valley's, really giving the midgets a lot of shots, and now we have another short track in KC Raceway, and, if you get those tracks in Sweet Springs and a couple of the places around here into it, I think there's the cars to do it and the competition, and you can have a good little local series.
Yeah. I think just one thing that the series needs to work on is trying to entice some of these drivers from out of town to come and race with them. I think it'll make the series better, and the competition level, again, was just going to increase. It's almost kind of like when War started out at Valley.
Yeah.
And, it was a
Went
local
through
core
stages, growing stages.
of
yeah.
racers, and then kind of a few started drifting in, and then what was his name? Casey Schumann got a hold of it,
All right.
and then there were a lot of influx from Illinois that started coming over, and now look where those between Power Eye and the Midwest Wingless, look where that thing's gone. And I think the same thing can happen with the midgets, and boy, would I love to see that. And of course, especially if we could have KC Raceway involved in it.
Well, I think once the word's finally out and it catches on and people make their first trip to KC Raceway and realize there's more seats there than what they think, I mean, we could pack that place pretty easily and have some great races out there.
Yeah.
We've got crib notes here, Cameron, and one of them is we know you come from a racing family. You actually come from 2 racing families, but Ray Boyles, Joe's dad, he was instrumental in keeping these midgets alive for several years. Is he giving his stamp of approval on this Power Eye thing? Did we lose you, Cameron?
I still got you here.
Okay. I'm asking about Ray. I know it's hard for you to speak for Ray, but how does he feel about this venture with Power Eye?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. I haven't talked to him probably in a couple of years. I just know that I'm cousins with Clinton Boyles, and that's his grandpa. So, I knew that he's really been involved with midgets around the Kansas City area forever, and then Joe, too. So, but I haven't actually talked to Ray himself about this group or anything.
We've got a picture up right now. I don't know if you're able to see any of it or not, Cameron, but we've got a picture of you. I believe this is Sweet Springs. It looks like you won $12,000.
Yeah, that was over at Marion, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
It was, the High Bank Hustle there. Yeah, that's one of the bigger micro races. Yeah, I've been really fortunate to have absolutely top-of-the-notch ride with the Hink family. They've given me a ton of opportunities in the micros, and we run maybe 6-7 weekends a year. We hit kind of all the big races, and they just have really good equipment, really good motors, and we've had a lot of success with them. And yeah, we won the High Bank Hustle over there. I think that was 2019. That was my biggest payday. And that was a great weekend. and always a pleasure running with them. And we were planning on running this weekend to Sweet Springs in one of their micros, as well as Chad's midget, but unfortunately that one got canceled for the rain. So
Yeah.
we'll be back over there for the hustle here in next month, and a couple more big races in their 600s.
Marion, Illinois is indeed a high-banked little bull ring. I'd like to go down there again. I was only there once. They got good food. I didn't get to see a whole lot of racing that night. We were in a hurry, but is that racetrack exceptional? Is it worthy of the high-banked hustle?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun in a micro. It's Jake Palmisano and the whole crew over there. They do a good job. It's always slick on the bottom up to a huge curb, and it puts on good racing. It's really short and small. It's just about the perfect size for a micro, and I've always had a lot of fun running over there.
I was just wondering, Cameron, do you have any idea how many races you've won in a micro?
Man, I would guess maybe 50, something around there.
Wow.
I don't know exactly.
And most of those are Sweet Springs in?
Yeah, well, back when I had my family car, when I was my teenager years, maybe when I was 14 to 17, 18 years old, we were in there every week and racked up quite a few there.
Yeah.
So now anymore, I don't get to run the micro too much. Like I said, it's all with the Hinks now. I don't have a car myself anymore, so don't get to race the micro as much anymore. But yeah, back when I was growing up, we went to Sea Springs every week and racked up a couple.
Now we've got a sprint car here, number 21. You've been doing some wing sprint racing also?
Yeah. So yeah, we sold the micro and basically used that money to buy a motor, sprint car motor, and saved up and just got a family car. And I can only race about 10 times a year. That's about all I can afford. But we have a wing 410 and run a lot of the MOA races in Illinois.
Right.
Gone up to Huset's before, and just some local stuff. Farmington over there, St. Louis area, they run weekly 410s. And I just have a Dash 12 410. It's pretty old and down on power, so we stay on the small tracks, but have some fun with it, and got my first win in that last fall down at Poplar Bluff, and so that was fun. And looking to build on that this year. Haven't got to race the 410 yet, but looking at dates and stuff, and planning on getting it. I think June 5th at Donaldson, Iowa, will be my first one in that.
So was this outing in the midget one of your first? Have you won a midget event before?
No, so really I haven't got to race a midget. I ran for Chad at the Chili Bowl, and we ran at KC Race. That's the only two I ran for Chad. I ran one night 2 years ago. So when I won the High Bank Hustle, the Newman family said the winner of the hustle gets a free night in our midget. So with that, I got to run the Newman midget one night 2 years ago, and I don't remember. It was the racetrack. They had a ton of rain, and it was super rough in one lane, and I think I finished like 9th or 10th. But really, I just, Chad at the Chili Bowl, and then at KC Raceway last Friday.
Chad, have you ever toyed with the sprint car deal?
Oh, yeah. When, I don't know what happened to me, but
That's a good explanation.
Yeah.
I don't know what
So
it was.
you're a strictly open wheel man, aren't you?
yeah, I did run, I ran legend cars back in, 25 years ago.
Yeah,
Did a lot of asphalt, road course, dirt.
yeah.
Ran this all-state race for your future series, won that, but I remember when I first started, man, I hit, it's like that saying, I hit everything. I might as well went out and hit the pace track, it's like, I freaking tore up everything. I'm like, I don't know if this racing's for me, but I did the Sweet Springs thing for a while and had a good time, and then Dennis Shroud over at Valley started this 305 deal. So I went out and got a 305 and did that for a while, and then they went non-wing, and from there it was just all non-wing stuff.
Yeah.
Went out to Indiana a little bit, and then just kind of settled down, and I went midget racing for a while, and then just kind of had nothing, and picked back up in the midgets about 4 years ago, and here we are.
Yeah.
going strong.
Well, I know I've seen you in victory lane yourself as a driver several times in that midget. Was it hard to put other drivers in your car? I mean, what
You know
brought
what?
that on?
At first, well, so I got divorced and I moved to the lake. And I thought, oh, this is the life. I moved to the lake. I got a boat. I'm out there fishing all by myself because my buddies are at the races, you know. And I'm like,
Here, I've done that.
this
Yeah.
sucks.
You've
So-
been there.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm gonna go back racing. And I bought a midget. I thought, oh, I'll race a little bit, and then I'll give some other people some opportunity to drive it. And it was fun. You know, I had a good time, but then it kind of just developed into, you know, a car owner role. And I love racing. I've been around racing my whole life, but I've never had more fun than being a car owner
Oh,
in
really?
racing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stressful. I put a lot of pressure on myself, you know, through the week. But when we get to the racetrack, it's their turn. Let them do it, and I don't miss that pressure for 1 second at the racetrack. I'm like, hey, I got the car here. It's up to you now.
Yeah, well,
You know.
and it's got to be fun watching somebody like Cameron.
Oh,
How you want to say that? I mean, to me, he's already pretty developed, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying to watch somebody grow and, you know, get better at the
Well,
sport.
definitely. And you know, we went back and forth a few times trying to get our schedules together, and Clinton ran my car a little bit, and Clinton's a gasser, man. I mean, it's wide open. He's a gasser. And Clinton and I were talking. I'm like, hey, what about Cameron? And so I got a hold of Cameron for the Chili Bowl, and you know, it's kind of let's just see how we mesh.
Yeah.
And he's way smart beyond his years in the car. It's really nice to see, and he did really well at the Chili Bowl. Made the A main on his prelim night.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I think we were in a transfer on Saturday, and the E got caught up in the mess, or power steering line broke,
Yeah.
and wasn't able to finish.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
he's just so mature in a race car. And Friday night at KC, never being there, you know, racing in that environment on a racetrack, flat, you know, slick, top to bottom, man, he was lights out.
Yeah, well, you had a pretty good start. We're watching the video now of the heat race, actually, Cameron. Like I said, I don't know if you're able to see any of this or not, but man, you started on the pole, and we can't be 2 laps into this, and it looks like you've opened up about 6 or 8 car length lead already in the heat
Yeah.
race.
I was just in the heat race, I knew just beat him into the corner and we'd be all right. And then in the feature, I was just going to kind of take it easy the first 2 laps. And Posted, I think it was Morgan Freewalt, I think just got on the gas a little too hard, spun the tires, and kind of washed out. And then I just, you know, had the moisture still there on the bottom and just got some good drive. And just figured I'd roll the bottom for a few laps and then kind of played around on the top just to feel it out. And felt like I had the good speed, and so from there I was just kind of feeling things out and moving around, and ended up just getting in a rhythm and kind of watching the scoreboard and all that, and I could end up at the end there, could see second place, Chad up in front of me, so knew I had a pretty good lead and was just kind of taking it easy at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could kind of tell from the sound of the motor, if nothing else, that you weren't necessarily winding that thing up
Yeah, it's
as far as it would go.
it's like a miracle. The car just is perfect car. It'll go anywhere, it looks like.
Yeah. Now, Chad, did you just go in here with a basic setup and just wait to see what Cameron had to say?
Yeah. You know, we've got to go out to KC before, and I kind of knew
Oh, did you?
what the track was going to be.
Oh, that's right. You were there
Yeah, with Andrew, yeah.
Felker.
Yeah, and when I saw the wall, when I saw they narrowed the wall, I thought, whoa,
Whoa.
you know, what do I want to do here? I know it's going to be hard and slick. You know, what do I want to do? So I kept him a little bit free for the heat race. Just say, hey, you know, you tell me what the car does.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we hit it pretty well. We were a little bit free in the heat race, and then you know, we got a lot of adjustability in the car, and just tightened it up a little bit for the feature, and you know, went that way. And even though they watered it, I knew it was going to slick off again. But you know, like you said, we could roll the bottom really well, and so we just kind of kept it there, kept it neutral all night, and let him, you know, do what he does, and worked out pretty well.
This is a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. There again, man, you looked like you just jumped down there on the bottom and got past, what was that, Morgan Freewald, I think.
Yeah.
It looks like, Cameron, on the start of the
Yeah.
A-main.
Yeah, like I said, she just got out there and got on the gas and, looked like she was going to the outside wall, so I just, stayed, kept my tires underneath me, half throttle down the front stretch, and got the lead there.
Yeah. Really nice pass. I mean, just dove right down there. Like I say, some moisture on the bottom, so it probably stuck really well, didn't it?
Yeah, sure did. You just grabbed that little,
Oh,
and it just launched off the corner.
they bent the axle or the wheel, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if it got the axle.
One of the reasons I like shooting where I shoot at, Greg, I can see the straightaway. There's another place set up there for camera setup, but you can't, the fence blocks the straightaway.
Oh,
Cameron, your dad, Darren, right? Is your dad?
Go get sold?
Yeah, Darren's my dad.
Does he have a lot of input in your driving? Does he tell you what you're doing wrong, or does he go to the races much? Is he hands-on in your career?
Yeah, I mean, he always goes and supports me, and he's always there, but he's pretty hands-off. He just always, I mean, he doesn't, if I ask him something, he'll provide his input, but for the most part, he just lets me do my thing and trust in me, and to him, I think he feels like he's been out of the game so long, he doesn't really know what he's talking about anymore, but he just goes and hangs out and has fun, and that's fine. I mean, he's done enough for me, but, he's really easy to work with if you have to, and my little brother's racing now a little bit, and so he's been a little bit more hands-on with that and the micro stuff, but he never really ran midgets, so as far as the midget stuff goes, he doesn't provide too much input or anything like that, but he's always eager to help, but like I said, for the most part, he just lets me do my thing.
Perfect control, man. Puts it right in there.
Beautiful job.
I mean, we'll give you some credit too, Chad. The car looks like it's set up pretty good.
I got a good notebook on a lot of places over the past few years. And this was one I was nervous about. I mean, it's a good little track. And Brannigan, Rourke, he had never been here. He had been there in his micro, but never been here in the midget. And he did really well too. I had the cars kind of set up the same. He did
Now, which
really
one
well.
is he?
He didn't make this. He was leading the second or first heat race, and
He's number 44 as well.
yeah, lost an engine on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember that now.
Yep.
Something on the back straightaway.
Chad blew up, and then
Yeah.
we blew a head gasket and it filled the cylinder up with water.
I got to admit, what happened to the 33 car? He didn't run the whole feature, did he?
No, I thought he broke an engine too or something.
Yeah, we had two cars broke that I know of. And there was oil on the track from somebody.
Yeah,
That was Chad.
It was
Yeah.
Chad. Well, Cameron, when you're running a race like this, this is not the right word to use, but does it get boring and you lose your concentration some?
I mean, yes and no. It doesn't necessarily get boring. I mean, you stay focused, but at the same time, you have a half a track lead, so you definitely back it down and just try to make smooth laps. You don't want to tear anything up when you have a lead like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you stay focused, but at the same time, you're not quite on edge. You're not quite as, wired as you would be if you were, like, in a battle. But
Right.
So it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You could relate to that question a whole lot more if you've ever raced at Belleville and they numbered the walls. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
which corner am I
4.
in? Yeah. I presume you've been to Belleville, Cameron?
No, never have been. Never have been.
Oh, that's too bad, man. It was a fantastic
And that
happening.
era's over. They
Yeah.
took the midgets off of that big track.
Yeah.
But
But-
midgets, I think, are perfect on this size of track. I mean, some people might say that's too small, but I think it's ideal.
I'll tell you what else I liked was that little late model that run that night.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was fun watching him. I'd like to see a pack of those. Probably be about like watching the Mod Lights.
Chad, yourself, this track, I would put it in the Chili Bowl category as far as track size. Do you feel like that these tracks this size are?
I think it's a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think so
KC
too.
Raceway is.
Straightaways seem shorter.
Yeah, they're shorter. You know, if you get 15 cars on here, it's gonna be a race. You know, it's a Port City's a good example. You know, it's pretty racy. I think Port City races well. You know, if we could straighten out the straightaways here, I think you would have a great midget track. But you know, I mean, still, 10 to 15 cars on here is a good show, and you know, I'm not going to count it out. I like going here. It's 15 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
So you know, I like what he's doing, and I'm going to try to support him as much as I can. You know, and we're trying to run the West and some USAC and some National, and just kind of see where the schedule falls, and then his sprint car schedule. You know, so we'll kind of see how everything works out. And
Yeah.
but you know, it's hometown. You know, you almost feel obligated to run the hometown stuff, and I enjoy supporting it. And
We appreciate that,
like to
too,
see it grow.
Chad.
You know, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah. There again, kind of going over the Power
There
I
he is.
Central States
Winner, chicken dinner.
midget racing series. To me, it's kind of a balancing thing or a hand-in-hand deal. Like I say, I think more cars start showing up, the purses are going to go up. The purses go up,
Yeah.
the more cars are going to show up. Now, I had a picture here of John Helm's race car. Why was that on your Facebook page, Cameron? Hello? Cameron?
Oh, can you hear me now? It was cutting out in there for a second.
I was thinking he dropped
yeah.
the call.
I'd say there's a picture of the Helm sprint car here. Why was that on your Facebook page? You just friends with them?
No, I ran that car, I think, 2 times.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
That's
man.
what I was
It's
hoping.
been it's been a long time. It was probably 5-6 years ago, maybe 2015-ish.
Yeah, well, how old are you now?
25.
Well, then you would have been about 19.
That sounds about right. Yeah, we just ran a couple nights right
Yeah.
before he kind of got hooked up with Leslie Smith.
Yeah,
We ran I-35 in Green Valley, I think.
okay. And,
And it was good. I'm thankful for John for giving me the opportunity. That was really my first time running the non-wing sprint, really the first time running a sprint car and non-wing too. And, you know, I didn't run all that well, but it was fun. And like I said, I'm thankful for him for giving me the opportunity. But like I said, I was a beginner, and so I wasn't quite up to speed yet. But
you race car drivers, you guys get all the good-looking gals. We got a picture of you and some gal in the pumpkin patch here or something. Brown hair.
you're just scrolling through the old Facebook page, huh?
Yeah.
He does that, Cameron.
Yeah, I can't resist. Some of these pictures are just too good sometimes. But anyway, we've got serious Cameron up here now.
I got to admit, looking at these pictures, you look like you and Clinton Boyles kind of came out of the same mold.
Boy, I mean, tell me about it.
Resemblance.
Tell me about it. Do they ever? But anyway, Cameron, man, I appreciate you taking some time out of your evening. I know you guys are probably in hard preparation for the weekend, and you're going to Oklahoma, I understand.
Yep, that's the plan. You're going to head to Oklahoma City and see how we do down there. So looking forward to that.
That was going to be one of my questions. We were talking about Port City. With all your experience in micros, have you done well at Port?
I ran Port City one weekend, and I ran I-44 one weekend in a micro before, and it was in a restrictor even. I wasn't even moved up to the open class yet, so it's been a long time. But yeah, I've been there quite a few years ago.
Yeah. Either you or Chad can answer this. I know it takes a group of people to get these guys in the cars ready to go. You want to give any shout-outs to anybody or sponsors or
Sure.
anybody like that?
Probably take both of us here. So. But,
Cameron got his backers and you got yours?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I mean, Hazley's Machine, Rick Paradis and Patty Hazley take care of all of our engines. Valco Wheels, Staco Electric, BP Fab, Engler Machine and Tool, DMI. You know, a lot of these guys are kind of behind the scenes and, you know, don't get a lot of credit, but they keep us going up and down the road, you know. And I know Cameron's got a few himself, you know, but without them, it gets real hard to do it by yourself. But very appreciative of all those people and Cameron, you know, for him coming on board and us finally getting together and see what we can do together. I think we're going to do pretty well together.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a fun deal to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cameron, you got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just Chad and all his partners for this opportunity. And, yeah, anytime I can, and shout out, I have a couple of people that have helped me out through the years and on my sprint car and everything. And, you know, I can just shoot them a text, and they're always there to help me. Tony Stewart and the Stewart House over in Centralia, he's been a big supporter of mine. And J.L. Waters and JMD Development, the Bybee family and their lawn care business. All those people have helped me out, my mom and dad. Thank them for getting me to this point. And like I said, Chad and all his partners for this opportunity, too.
All right. Well, once again, Cameron, thanks a lot, buddy, for taking some time out to talk with us. It's been a real pleasure. As I told you Friday night, I had heard the name. I think I'm seeing you race Summit Sweet Springs. But, man, the rumors were true. You're a racer, man.
Yeah, very much so.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, I'll be at Sweet Springs probably a couple times this year with the Hinks and the Micro, and locally here with Chad. And don't know if I'll get to run local with my sprint car much, but hopefully see you guys at the track too.
All right, you take care, man. Have a good evening.
Hey, thank you. You all as well.
We'll see you soon. That was great having him and having Chad right here with us too.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Chad, you got anything else to add to this wonderful?
Man, you know,
It's an adventure, isn't
it
it?
is. It is. You know, when I started this, I never thought I would be where I was. And, you know, Andrew drove for me in 19 and 20. We had a lot of success together. We parted ways here in 21. You know, I have Brannigan Rourke and Cameron Key now. I'm really blessed, lucky. I love to go racing, and hopefully we can just keep going, you know,
keeping
one
on.
racetrack at a time, you know.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
my hair's not blonde, but you just said Brandon Rourke, who's got a 44 car. Is that your car too?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. Excuse me, Mr. Hendrick.
That's all right.
Keith Coons,
Yeah.
Kansas City
That's
Keith
what-
Coons.
that's what I'll go over to Brian Brown's shop, you know, and he calls me the Keith Coons of Green Valley. I'm not even close.
So
man,
you
not
had
even
your
close.
hands full. You had
Oh,
two
yeah.
cars in the same race. I'm just now
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
So you most definitely know about the motor problems.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you know, and so, you know, it's like anything. You start out and you buy these engines. I bought 4 motors, and, you know, and nothing against the motors or anything like that, but this guy builds it, and then this guy builds it, so I went back to the original guy, Rick Paradis with Fontana. Joe Fontana started it, Rick built all the motors. I just wanted them all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get everything the same, you know, and I did that with all my chassis, rear ends, you know, everything is the same.
Swap everything out.
That way I can just grab something and go, or one of the guys can grab something and go. It has taken my program from here to here, you know, and even in the driver, you know, with Andrew and Luke Howard drove a little bit for us. Brannigan, I've had other, you know, guys drive, and, you know, we're kind of looking at maybe a driver development type of deal. But right now, you know, I work a 40-hour, you know, job during the day, and then, you know, come home every night and do this.
Another 40 hours.
2 cars is about all I can keep up with. You know. I've got 2 more in the shop,
Oh, my.
but 2 I can get to the track, work on, get them on the racetrack.
Yeah, you sound like me when I go race.
Yeah.
I usually take 5.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, I may have one that's in top shape. The second one is going to be okay, and then 3, 4, and 5 are just going to be, well, we'll see what they do.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. You know, that you know, and that's my part as the owner. You know, I'm not a Keith Coons. I'm not you know, I'm not a Tim Clausen. I don't have millions of dollars behind me. You know, and I have these partners that I have. And, you know, each and every dollar counts. And
you got to put it where you can use
this
it.
car, you're right. This car has to be just as good as this car. And it doesn't matter who's in it. once we're at the racetrack, let the drivers get in and do their thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I talked to Cameron after the heat race, and I said, well, how was the car? He's like, really good. It'll go anywhere, you know. I said, what do you want? What would you do different? You know, and so we talked about that, and I made a couple adjustments for the feature, and you know, and that's a question I try to ask every time. After the feature, I'm like, would you
Yeah.
done anything different tonight? You know, and it's my notebook.
Right.
You know, I gotta keep good notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not,
Sure
I'm
do.
too old, I'll forget, and,
Yeah.
you know, out the window we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, Chad, thanks for coming over. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you, guys.
Last minute
Thank you, guys.
invitation, by the
Yeah.
way.
I appreciate it.
Truthfully, I've got to be truthful. Greg, this morning I didn't know if we were going to have a show.
It's that way every week, isn't it?
I lost Cameron's phone number, and I told Mary, I said, I got to get a hold of this guy somehow.
That way, this may be one of our best shows ever. We got driver, owner in here, and
Yeah.
you dug up Vic Austin.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, like,
Dug him up, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
I've used that before without thinking.
Yeah. But anyway, Chad, thanks for coming over,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having me. I
your
appreciate
time,
it.
too.
Thank you,
Good to
Greg.
see you, buddy.
We'll let you excuse yourself and
You
we'll
got
get
it.
Vic in here. And we'll talk some old-time racing.
That's right.
Come on in here, Vic.
Just like
We are
old time
ready for
rock
you,
and
man.
roll, old time racing. Don't say that around, Vic. It wasn't that long ago.
I know it. You guys make me feel old.
How are you?
Pretty good, sir.
Good.
How you?
I don't know if we ever got the chance to race together, but I know we've been in the same time era a few
Yep.
times.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of your car number.
34.
34.
34A.
34A.
Yeah, 34A. Is this your mom, I think?
That is my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes.
Okay.
Aunt Carol.
Yeah.
Sure is. They was more my dad's side was
Yeah.
into the racing than my mom's side.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom is a kind of a motorhead. I think that's probably where I got it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Dad was always getting mad about tires.
Yeah, something about a mom's, you know, a motorhead mom. Boy, they fight good at the race.
Oh, they do. They do.
They
Well,
stir up the trouble.
That
Oh,
kind
man.
of leads right into the first question that I have is, I think you came from a race, oh, that's Cameron, so I'm sorry. I thought you were from a racing family, but I'm not sure. Did anybody in your family race?
Yeah, Bobby Pipes.
Pipes?
Yeah.
I saw that name
Yep,
today.
he raced at I-70
Yeah.
when it was dirt.
I'm trying to hold this picture here. I'm getting hit
That's
by-
Mama.
Yeah.
She was works on the car. When I get in that bad wreck, she had my car ready to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
she's a motorhead. Same with my daughters.
Yeah.
And I can't forget about Jeff McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, he got mad because I didn't mention his name. I said,
Yeah,
man, I've had my brain racked a few times.
He's taking care of you tonight.
Oh yeah,
I have to tell you, I was totally impressed. You know, I went over to the shop the other day.
yeah.
And your wife and your daughter, in fact, your daughter, I walked in the garage and she says, can I help you, sir? And I said, well, yeah. I said, I have a racing show. And I said, I have a segment that's called Where Are They Now? And I'd like to have your dad on there. And she says, well, see if I can hook you up. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before that, she said, well, I run the business and do the work here. She said, Dad's been off for a while.
Yep.
And both her and your wife, dirty hands like
Oh
men,
yeah. They're motorheads. They
they've
help
been
with
out
the
there
car.
doing it all.
Yes.
You got a touch with women, don't you?
Man, well, I grew up with all women. They used to dress me up like a girl all the time. I'm like, hey.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Now,
Oh, Vicky
That's my,
Austin.
yes.
this is the oldest,
That's my youngest.
younger,
Yep.
and the
She-
one I saw at the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Kristen. She's actually the motorhead, and
Okay.
she growed up in the shop on the stroller, just banging off.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I'd give her alternator, and she'd get tools out and tear it apart.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'd set her on my toolbox,
Yeah.
you know, while Mom went to go get parts.
Yeah.
She just growed up in it. And now, it's so funny. her boyfriend's in her car's break down. She's out there working on it. And I'm over there clicking. Oh, man, this don't look good.
Now, this had to be one of the early ones. I'm thinking this was 14?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that, if I
that's
remember
when we
right.
took the Boone.
Okay, IMCA then.
Yep. We went to Boone with it, and Charles, we really didn't get on too well at
Yeah.
Lakeside. And
Tom Charles?
Yep.
Yeah.
He ended up taking, that's when Boathammer, Jason Bodie was running for me
Yeah.
up there. And, man, he took us out.
Yeah,
I mean, destroyed the car.
yeah.
There was nothing left of it. And we was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
That's the end of that one.
Yeah,
But, yeah, that was a real good car right there. Greg Johnson, he did a great job welding the cars, and
yeah.
Jason Boathammer did the bodies, and Randy Odell built
Yeah.
the motors and did a good job
Yeah.
doing that.
I tried to get a hold of Bodie.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now.
2 months ago, I was looking for somebody for the Where Are They Now thing,
Right.
because, you don't hardly hear
Goodwill,
anything from
man.
him.
Goodwill, man.
And I just never could make the connection.
Right.
And had a phone number, and I think it was out of service or something. But
Yeah.
I'd like to get a hold of Jason.
But I
like you
heard
say,
that.
heck
His
of a
house
wheel
broke
man.
down is what I heard.
Yeah.
The
so-
whole world changed for him when that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, and,
Now, you say this is a wrap?
no, this one here, Greg Johnson, good buddy of mine,
Yeah.
he is just a whiz with just designing cars,
Yeah.
and them are the stickers that he put on.
I'll be darned.
That's a
So,
neat looking car.
Yeah,
'Cause
and he
Greg,
did a good
is
job.
a painter. He don't know how many race cars and stuff
You
he's lettered.
paint, yeah.
I did.
Oh,
I hand
Captain
painted.
Mouse Gans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And snail.
Snail.
Snail
Yep.
and mouse, and I was afraid to accept the word squirrel. So.
They all had the
we
nicknames.
use squirrel hair brushes. And all my life, I wondered if there was a factory where people shave squirrels.
I think this is a Missouri State Fair, I think. Is that you
Yeah.
leading?
Yeah,
That's yeah. Actually, we had it one, and
Yeah.
we seen the white light come on, and then there was yellow, and I'm like, man. And then next thing you know, they dropped the green flag. Boom, got spun out.
Yeah.
Put us to the back,
Yeah.
and he kept his spot.
Yeah.
And we had him beat by half a track.
I'll be darned.
Just took
Oh,
off.
that's awful. That's
Oh, it was, and that was state, and man, we was looking at that 6-foot trophy, and just drooling, just drooling, going, oh, that's gonna be ours finally,
Yeah.
after all these years.
Do you
Yeah.
remember if that was back when they had weekly shows, or was that
This is probably,
during the fair?
Yeah,
it
this
said
is
State
fair,
Fair
yep,
on
State
the
Fair.
picture,
Yeah.
Yep.
is why I say that. But
Yeah.
let's go from this, clear back to the beginning.
Tee-haw.
Where was your first race, in what class, and how did it go?
It was when Larry Castor,
Yeah.
up there at I-35 with
35.
Clemson, that's when we started out in super stocks,
Uh-huh.
supposedly, and then all of a sudden it opened up to rung what you brung.
Grand
Yeah.
National.
I had a super stock, and Randy Odell that built my motors, he was a whiz at 421s. They just pull and pull and pull. And, man, we dropped this in a super stock,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and no suspension, but a whole lot of power. We just drive wheels off of it
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
Yeah. I think this is your sister here, by the way.
Yeah, that's my twin.
Oh, twin.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm 3 minutes older than she is.
Oh, wow. Isn't that neat?
Yep,
What's her name?
Vicky.
Vicky. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I said Vicky, that you really do have a sister named
Yes,
Vicky.
yep,
Yeah.
that's her right there.
Well, I'll be
So,
darned. Yeah.
And
Vic,
when you were
Vicky.
first
Yep.
born, were you identical? Did they use that word?
No, I'm much furrier than she
Okay.
is. She'll bust me up for that.
Yeah, I know.
Better get him, Vicky.
And of course, this is one wild
This
creation
was,
here.
this was the best
That's cool.
time that we ever had right here.
That was it.
Yes, everybody, we rolled in, we started putting it together, and at the time I had 8 miles,
Yeah.
and we had this 8 mile, and we just started getting adapters and putting late model tires and
Yeah.
to set up on it. And Boathammer, he's a body
Yeah.
fanatic. He ended up putting a wing there in the front and in the back. And he was like, everybody just checking out. And this guy goes, well, he ain't going to do no good. I said, let's give it time here. He's got a lot of tire there.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of laps to go. And, man, he just walked the dog, and next thing you know, that it was just,
You know,
You
I
say
think,
checked
Boathammer was driving it?
yes, yeah.
I think I was there that night.
Yes,
Now that you bring that up.
Yes.
Because that was kind of a run what you brung
yes.
kind of deal.
We won everything. And I had 2 cars there, and I think Earl, I think his name is. owned it.
Walls, Earl Walls.
Yeah. I said, each one of us get a toolbox. But no, you only get one. But I had 2 cars. I get 2 boxes. He goes, no, you and me, we're racing. And he got in Tim Carrick's brand new car.
Yeah.
And he goes, Vic, you jump in yours and let's go run them. And I'm like, well, Bodie's this tall. And I'm like this,
Yeah.
you
man.
know?
Yeah.
And I'm driving this thing, and it's hooked up. And I'm going, and I just waxed the old man. I just gave him hell. And I pulled off, blew the belts off of it, and I seen it getting hot. So I pulled off. I go, Tim, you might go get your car. Next thing you know, you see old man just hitting a wall. Oh,
Carrick's car.
Oh, Kirk is just crying. A brand new car.
You talking about Earl Walls?
Yes.
Yeah, Earl Walls.
Yes. He likes a little
Holy
bit. Yes.
smokes.
He likes a little bit of special sauce.
I have not heard that story.
Yes. And
We are getting the true facts here.
yes.
Greg.
Yes. And he was nice and mean at the same time.
That sounds like Earl.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there, I'm getting the car ready,
Yeah.
and he goes, why ain't you out there packing track? I said, I can't fit in this car. And he don't know his mic's on.
Yeah.
And he's just cussing me out, and everybody's listening to it. So I hop in it like this,
Yeah.
and he's down there pointing me down in the mud,
Yeah.
and accidentally my throttle got stuck.
Oh no, you buzzed him.
Oh, yeah.
Accident.
Accidentally, my foot got stuck.
I'm thinking I heard that same story.
Yes,
from-
crazy.
Oh, I know who it was, but I won't
Crazy
mention who
good.
it was. But somebody else did that, and they said Earl, because he raced there for several years.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said Earl was mad at him for like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
He
oh,
built me all the
Would
time.
it ever
Yeah.
happen? I've always thought when I raced there that, man, he's gonna get hit or run over.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
it. He was a crazy old man. But
Yeah, yeah.
man, he was funny.
I think this is the fair again, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yep.
Now, you were driving the car here, though, right?
That car right there, I think Jason Bodie was still running for me
Oh, okay.
because at that time the doc still wouldn't
Wouldn't let you go.
let me
Okay.
go.
What was your? I didn't know. You had physical problem or?
No, I had one of the worst accidents in Lakeside history. They
Oh,
say.
that's where I know your name.
Yes, it was a
That's
bad.
where I know your name.
Woo! I'm half inch shorter. They said it would have killed a normal man. Not normal. They could have told us had a 50-foot hole out there,
Not normal.
and we would have went around it and raced it anyway. You know.
So you're not joking when you said your head's been banged.
Oh yes, yes, bad one. Matter of fact, I was passing cars flipping in the air, and the track was so rough, and we was running, and the moisture was coming up through Lakeside because we never got all the asphalt out of it. And I had a 514 gear in it because I knew the track was going to be heavy, and that's uncalled for being in Lakeside with 514. But I was looking for MPH. I'm going to the top, you know, almost a mile per hour. And as long as you kept the tires spinning, you can get through it. It was getting rough. People were losing body parts, hanging off, and man, I hit a bump. My foot came off the throttle. Next thing you know, it was quiet,
Yeah.
and it was. And I see an 11 car
Oh, no wonder.
past him, and I'm going, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Because man, BRTs, the roll cage right here,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you got any pictures of the accident. But
No, I
man, you
didn't.
can see the wheel prints.
Yeah.
it put free in the air, and 4 times it hit on
really?
the top,
Oh,
flip
man.
on the top. And my head's right here. Well, you know where the roll cage is going.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Absolutely.
man, I can't handle this one.
Huh.
Not another one. About the
Yeah.
4th one, I finally put my hands up, and I had dirt all the way up here.
Up to your
Broke my
passenger
Hans,
ribs.
yes, broke my Hans device,
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
broke my helmet, and I heard the jaws of life, and at that time I weighed like 300 pounds because the games taught me how to professionally drink.
The Gans?
The Gans. And,
Sound familiar, Mary?
good guys,
She knows
good
the
guys.
Gans too.
Oh, do you?
Went to grade school with them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That reminds me,
They
since we're
taught me
talking
that.
about old times and whatever, you grew up in Vrooman Acres?
No, actually, I just knew everybody.
Oh, you knew everybody
Yeah, I knew
down there.
everybody down there, but I did live down there for a while.
Oh, okay.
And we growed up, well, we lived down in Birmingham back in '64 when
Yeah.
Mom and Dad had me.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
But a long time ago.
Your wreck reminds me of one I had that was similar, and where I come from, I got the local sod company. My buddy, his dad owned it, and they sponsored our trip to Florida. So I got down there, and all them dudes wanted to do was go party.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I really didn't have a whole lot of help. And the throttle sticks, because I got hit in the driver's door, and I went for a ride just like you said.
Oh.
Except I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I see there's a junkyard around the track. I see a swamp. I see tires. I see palm trees. over and over. I see an old refrigerator.
Oh,
And
man.
the
That's what's
car-
gonna get bad.
Yeah, and I said the same thing you are. This is going to hurt.
This is gonna hurt.
But the only thing that saved me is there was old tires, and it was a swamp, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a hard impact.
Right.
Cushioned you.
But it
The blow.
flipped end over end.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst wrecks I ever seen.
Man.
But man, I appreciate safety after
Oh,
that.
man,
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
And man, getting your head wrong,
Oh.
your bell wrong, man,
Yeah.
I'm so glad
Yes.
that you're here
I
talking
bet.
to us.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Because it
definitely
sounded
Lord
like
was
it was
right.
very, very serious.
Yes, it was. Everybody, I heard the jaws of life and start up, and this brand new car. And Kerry Davis, buddy of mine, he knew me. And I'm sitting there, it's still smoky, I'm dazed, and I go, are you standing on my car? To the official. And he goes, Vic, don't worry about your car. I go, this is a brand new car. I go, do I got to start in the back? He goes, Vic, yeah. He goes, your car's pretty much done right now. It takes 3 wreckers to get it in the trailer.
Mine was done too. We came back to Kansas City, and I had to lay sod.
And a refrigerator.
Wow, man.
During your racing career, did you have a favorite track? I mean, was there one that you just really loved to race at? Did good at, stuff like that?
Winston was my favorite because at first it was rivalry. They called us the City Boys against the Country Boys.
Yeah.
Jason Estes,
Yes.
Denny Witt, and George Burnett, all them guys. There's Donnie Burton, good
Burlington,
man.
Burlington.
Yes, Donnie, yeah, he passed on.
Yeah.
Bless his heart, that was a major motor man too.
Now,
right
did
there.
he ever make any motors for you?
Yeah, yes. And he was, matter of fact, he raced Suzuki's, and he went across the track faster than his bike,
Yeah.
without his bike. But he can build a Suzuki that would just tear him
Oh,
up.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's what he did. And then he built engines, and, he taught Yankee Shepherd and Randy Odell, built
There's
my
some
motor.
of their stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy was one smart guy right there.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
miss him.
I
I
agree.
miss him. And
Yeah.
he fast. He
'cause
knew his motors.
The thing I liked about him was that when USRA and USMTS started being big in the racing
Right.
scene here in Kansas City, and everybody was thinking that they were going to need those $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 motors.
Right.
This guy was building motors for a lot less than that.
Yes.
And there's one of the guys that
Yes.
run them, Aaron Moran,
Yes.
and he was competitive.
Yes. Very.
So you got to give it to Burlington for
Yes.
the stuff that he
Yes.
did. Like you say,
Yes.
heck of a motor
Burlington,
builder.
yes. He was awesome.
Yeah.
awesome.
But anyway, Winston was pretty much
Yes, Winston was my
Was it on
favorite
account
cat.
of that kind of city versus country guy thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, because Flying Mike Ryan
Yeah.
was a tough cat, you
Yeah.
know, and me and him were buddies. And so we go up there and there's Estes, and with all a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's a grinding match.
Grinding.
I mean, we go home, and all I'd be doing is welding in the bumpers harder and heavier, you know.
Become
And
partners.
yes, and we just grinding each other up, you know, beating up each other. Finally, Estes and all the boys came over, and they go, "Are we done grinding each other up?" I go, "If you're done, I'm done, but I got more bars."
Yeah, I got more boards.
And after that, we shook hands, and man, it was best racing.
It was on.
It was on.
It was racing.
I mean, we'd race, and yeah, we'd swap numbers, you know, once in a while. I'd be 43. But it was some good, hard racing.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen pictures of the modified. Is there
No, I
anything-
couldn't find any. He
On
didn't
here,
have any on his Facebook page. No, there was a picture of the Grand National over at the shop, and I wish I'd have taken a picture of it when I was over there the other
Charger
day.
class,
The
yeah.
Charger, the Grand National.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Charger, yeah, Charger.
Yeah,
it was
Charger
called
class,
then.
yeah.
So this you're talking about with Estes and them, was that in the Charger class?
No, that
He's
was
on
in the Super Sox.
Super Sox.
That's when me and Mike Ryan was fighting for points.
Uh,
And my gosh. And I started like 18, and Estes and everybody comes over and goes, "Vic, Mike's going to check out, so we'll let you buy." Gee, was that a lie. I fought these boys and fired them. I said, "Dude, I got at least run second." And last lap, I finally got past Estes. And I went up to Mike, and I won it by 1 point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by
So you had to
1
get the
point. I
second
had
to
to
win
be
the
second.
points.
Yes.
Oh, I was wondering what you meant by you had to get the second.
Yes, I had to get the second.
So they were telling you before the race, we'll
Oh,
let
yeah,
you
yeah. We'll let you buy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure we
you did.
will.
Yeah, they fought me
Sure
to the
will.
end. I was like, golly, because Mike, he done checked out.
Yeah. Okay, here's another question. In the early days, did you have a local or national driver that you kind of looked up to or thought you'd like to be like?
I tell you what, Jason Boathammer was a real good wheel man.
Yeah.
This guy knew how to drive. I mean, he was a driver.
Built some good cars, too.
Very good cars, and he knew a lot about them and taught me a lot, and he was just a good wheel man.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting another ride, money.
Yeah.
But-
Well, let me ask you this. Since you kind of brought it up there, was part of it that you learned a lot when he was driving for you?
Correct. Yep.
Is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then that made you a better racer overall too
Yes.
after that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
But
Listen
back
a lot.
when you were young, before you ever raced, did you watch cup racing on TV? I mean, where did you get bit by racing?
The Ganses.
Gans.
Gans,
Oh yeah.
Gans.
I'd go down to Riverside. I'd beg my dad, take me to Riverside,
Yeah.
because I want to go Riverside. And if he didn't, I can get on top of my house and hear him.
Oh well. See.
And so I got to at least hear him.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I was the same way. I owned a house down in North Kansas City on 23rd Street,
Right.
just 2 blocks east of the high school. We could hear Riverside there.
Yeah.
If the wind was coming from the west, you'd swear they were running on the football field.
Exactly.
You'd swear they were.
Yeah.
It was that loud, Greg.
Yes. Very loud.
From Riverside.
Yeah. And then they drive them home. I'm like,
Some of that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, that was a day, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they, oh yeah.
I might explain, we've got quite a few pictures of Aaron Moran, but you
Yes.
sponsored Aaron
Yes.
and was on the crew. That's why we've got so many pictures of Aaron, so
Yeah.
that's why I put those up.
Yeah. This kid here, he's very quiet, and I kind of met him at Green Valley,
Another tremendous
Warrensburg too, and they ran Fords. But
Yes.
you can tell they didn't have the equipment,
Mhm.
but I could tell this kid just had it. And I built this top line. I mean, spent a lot of money on this A-mod, and everybody tried to get him to drive for him. And I went up to him when I couldn't race, and I said, "Hey, do you mind at Lakeside? Do you mind drive my car?" He goes, "Man, Vic, that's a lot of money." I said, "Just maybe get tore up. Let's do it."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'll do it," and I thought he was going to take it easy, you know.
Not
That
Aaron,
side,
are you
yeah,
kidding?
oh yeah.
Aaron
And I
Morant, take it
yes,
easy?
I call him the Dino Man.
I believe
He
that.
will test your motor.
He'll just.
And
I
then,
believe that.
yes, and he dropped a flag, and he went in there 6'10" wide with everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there closing my eyes, and he's leading, pulling off. I'm going, "Yeah!" And he was just a wall scraping.
Oh yeah, he loved the high side. He
Oh,
loved the
my
high side,
God.
Greg.
Yeah, he would.
You could have cut the bottom half off.
Yes, yes. The guys loved it. They had to go there with a shovel.
Yeah.
He had to clean it off for him. He'd get on that wall, and you just hear that motor just go wide open, and just come out like a freight train.
Yeah. Have you had a chance? Well, of course, you have told me that you don't really like to go to the races now because it's a lot of temptation. But have you seen him race a late model?
See, at that time I had a late model, and he kept wanting me to put it together. And I said, "No, because you'll fall in love with it. And you won't drive my
You
A-mod."
won't want an A-mod. And I think that's what happened.
That's exactly
he
what
didn't
happened.
even race an A-mod.
You didn't want him spoiled.
Yes, that's exactly right, because I went backwards. See, I drove a late model with a stab and steer, you know.
Stab and steer.
That's all it was. These things here that had power, all kinds of power, but no tire. And there's a completely different ride. And Aaron got hooked up with Brunston. And Chris, he passed on, but his boy Mike still runs the shop, and they picked him up. I told him, I said, "Man, you need this kid." Let him get in that late model and run it. And man, he's just been putting a whooping on.
I don't know if you know it or not, but I think the first MLRA race that he won down at CMS.
Yes.
I believe that.
And we had him on by phone. What was that, Mary? I can't remember how we did that, but we had him on by phone, and he was saying, after I won that race, he said, "I knew there was only one way for me to go, and he says it was down." He said, "When you start out a winner, what do you got left to do?"
That's right.
But
Good guy.
Yeah, he was a great interview.
Tremendous
Oh, yes.
driver.
And his dad, he hated the motors with the distributor in the back.
Oh, really?
He liked them Fords.
Oh, yeah.
Distributor in the front.
Yeah. Well, as much as I hate to say it, Aaron even admitted when we had him on the show that the Fords, he says they make more power, but he said they're not what a Chevrolet
Right.
will do for you in racing. And he said, we stayed with it for a long time, and his dad made some really good stuff.
Yes, he did.
But he said, it became evident that I couldn't win with a Ford anymore.
Right.
So he finally made the change. But Vic, is there a special moment in racing that you kind of hold dear to your heart, that just kind of sits with you as, man, that was fun, or that was a great win, or me and Joe Blow just had a terrific time racing that night, or
Yeah.
is there?
There's a bunch of them, but
Oh, well,
my most
yeah.
favorite one was with Mr. French, Mike French,
My friend.
MRA champion 5 times.
Jeff French.
Yep. And he came from Iowa with his buddies, and mine was full
The
blown.
35, we're talking about 35?
Yeah, I-35
Right.
true rate, and he was helping us out with the late model passes, and he's bringing cars. Yeah, we've had him 16, 20 cars.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Vic, man, you're fast in the heat race, but you're backing up." He goes, "Drop that J bar down, move right bar up, and I'm starting on a pole, so you just follow me." He goes, "Now you're gonna be scared. You got to drive it past its limit, and then the car will work for you. And late models are easiest to watch." And I'm like, man, he's going a little faster than I want to go. But when he goes in that corner, late miles, you can just tell when they get in the brakes, left front's about this off, quit spinning, and then you see the back tire roll up under him, he's back in the throttle. And I kept doing that. And I'm right on the whole time. And we started getting lap traffic, and I'm just following him, going. And I had a good run on him. I seen a white light. And that's, every racer knows, when you see the white light, your car's coming apart. You know? Last lap. Oh, the car don't feel right. It don't feel right.
Yeah,
And,
strange noises.
Yeah,
What was that?
what was that? And I got underneath of him, ended up winning the race.
Did you really?
Yes. Ended up beating him.
Yeah.
And after that, man, we just had a heck of a time, man, just having a good old time.
Well, wasn't that nice of him to
Yes.
to tell you?
Yes.
That?
Just go to you see the white
Yes.
light.
Yeah. And he did. And then after that, man, that car was just untouchable. It
Yeah.
was just
Wow.
go, go, go.
Huh.
And, man, I just loved that car.
Yeah.
That was my favorite car.
Yeah.
And French, he was so funny. He's grouchy, old boy.
Yeah.
And he's up there, and they're all saying, you need to check the car up in the race. We need to check the car. And he about spit his cheeseburger out. You pick it up. You look it over. I bring people here. And I'm going, he's just a good old guy. I miss him. But, yeah.
I love that.
And the next, I think the very top one was Tom Coolray.
Coolray?
Yeah.
He's racing up here again now.
Yes.
Has for 4 or 5 years now.
Yes.
6, something.
Well, he raced like 15 years and never won a race. And I told him, I said, I would quit after 2
Yeah, no
years
kidding.
if I wouldn't ever saw no trophy.
Uh-huh.
And then after his first trophy, you couldn't stop this guy. And so then they started full-blown late miles.
Yeah.
And this kid had a Chrysler, and he started on pole. He come up to me and he goes, Vic, I'm starting on a pole, and I go, you stay up there. That's how you learn. Because I knew Tommy was going to start behind me. And we're fighting points. And what happened? Oh, yeah. And what happened? So there's a yell. All of a sudden I hear the helmet go bang on the side of my car. And we got this girl that we call her Chef Laham. She always makes us dinner all the races.
Call her what?
Chef Laham.
Chef.
Chef Lamb.
Chef
Laham.
Laham, yeah. It's a Beth is her name,
Yeah.
but she always cooked food, and all the drivers would come over and we'd all eat afterwards. And Tom comes over, he shook my hand, he goes, well, congratulations on the championship. I go, we still got another race left. He goes, my car's tore up. I go, well, let's go over and see what's going on. I go over there, make a list. I'll go over there, I give them all the parts.
Yeah.
I said, dude, if I'm going to win this championship,
Yeah. They
I'm
can do it
gonna-
on the fluke.
that's right. I'm going to do it.
Make
Let's
it
do it.
fun,
Right.
interesting, yeah.
And I ended up winning it. And he come over and he goes, you gave me junk parts. I looked at him, I said, what? I gave you junk parts.
Vic, have you got any idea how many wins you had in your career?
You know what?
Estimate, guess?
Wow. Probably 50.
50?
I got a lot of trophies, but a lot of broken up boots. I think it'd been cheaper to go buy the trophy and have the name, you know.
Good idea.
Now, here's a really dumb question because I already know the answer. But if you could go back and do it all over again, would you do it again?
Oh, yes, in a second.
Yeah.
In a second. Yeah, I had so much fun. And at Winston Speedway was more, after we all started getting along, it was, if anybody needed a part, transmission, it bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
You know, here you go. Lakeside, nobody there had a fuel pump for a Chevrolet 350. Imagine
Really?
that. Imagine
Really?
that. Yeah. There's no help there. That track, I really didn't you know, it wasn't like have fun.
Couldn't get in the happening or,
Right.
or whatever.
Right. Like Estes,
Like something was held back.
right.
Yeah.
Like Estes, he'd blow training up, and they'd come over, extra training here, bang.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if we're going to run, let's run.
Yeah.
You know, help the guys
Yeah.
out.
Well,
This ain't no money thing. This is for fun.
it's kind of like me when I go race these things. I'm there to have fun.
Yes.
And I let guys drive my cars, you know, help them out, whatever. And the competition just makes it that much more fun
Yes.
when there's a good race.
When
and-
everybody's there.
Yeah, and everybody's there.
Now, my favorite ride,
Right.
this was really fun. They call me Toothpick. I had my Charger. I was running points against Kevin Burns. Go crybaby. But, hey, Kev. But we made this traction on a super stock
Yeah.
because Terry Bridges, my car broke. So I had to run my super stock. I sold Terry Bridges.
Uh-huh.
And he went out in his feature, my feature's next. He got in a wreck. We had just enough time to cut the header off and hammer the brake line shut. Well, they hammered the back brake line shut.
Wrong
Well, it's wrong brake. So I'm out there, I'm out of the floor, and I'm going to hit my brakes. They're hard as a rock. There's none there. So I start using other cars to slow me down.
Use another car.
Yeah. And I got to the floor. I'm going as best I can. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there with a steering wheel in my hand. I'm going, I fall in the back. I'm sitting there grabbing this, crying for Mom. Mom! I go up over the turn, and I swear there's a cement pillar on the other side of that wooden fence. This fence blew up, and I just folded my feet up, was still trying to steer the steering wheel was gone in the back.
Did you see
And
the white light?
I saw the light. Actually saw 6 Highway, is what I saw.
God.
And I lost my front wheel, rotor and all, and they found it at the water tower, which is probably a quarter-mile away.
Yeah.
Across the road.
Across the road. But I was called Toothpicks. I mean, wow. Lot of fun.
Oh, shoot. I think you answered this. I'll ask it anyway, but who was the biggest influence on your racing career? It sounds like it was Jason Bodenhammer.
Yeah, Jason
So-
and Randy Odell, he knew a lot. He kept our motors running good.
Yeah.
Yancey Shepherd,
Yancey, yeah.
another good
I
competitor.
really miss Yancey not
Yes.
being so deeply
I
involved
know
in the sport.
it-
I mean, I know he's still building some
Yes,
motors,
yeah.
but boy, not like he was. You couldn't hardly find a race car
Oh,
that didn't
no.
have
Yancey.
Yanceys on it.
Yeah, and he run late miles too, and he goes, Vic, man.
Good driver, too.
Yes,
That's the other
yes.
thing I can't figure out. Yeah, if
Good
he didn't want to
driver.
build motors, he could race.
Yes, and he was more of a drag racer.
Yeah.
But then I go, well, my grandma can run a straight line. You know, I go, let's get to turning.
Yeah.
And then you get time to go after him. You
Yeah.
know, hey, it says, 6 seconds.
Uh,
Hey, you got maybe 15 minutes to catch this guy, you know? And he'd come up to me and he goes, Vic, I don't know if my car's getting slower or everybody's
Yeah.
getting faster.
Yeah.
I go, I think we're all getting faster.
Okay. If a new racer came up to you and asked you what to expect in racing, what would you tell them?
Like this one old man told me, he go get a racing book. And the best part in that book was it said, you will not make many friends. And you know what? That book was true. You will not make much friends.
Yeah.
But we did, especially up in Winston. We just, in Warrensburg, that was another good track.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get whooped on, that was a place
That
to
was
go.
a place to go.
Them boys
Hadn't
did not.
changed a lot.
Oh yes,
Hadn't
that,
changed a lot.
That was a very fast
Yeah.
track.
And there again, I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the midget series, Greg, is I think if there's enough money there, the racers will come, like they said,
Yes.
build it and they will
Oh,
come.
they'll go anywhere.
But
Yes.
look at what Earl's done down there with paying $1,000 to win.
Yes.
Of course, I think Lakeside's gone to that too for A-mods. But man, the cars and the drivers that they have down there is
Top notch.
almost unmatched.
Top
I think, and
notch.
I know I'm going to PO some people, but
But
it's all right.
it's the truth. I mean,
Facts are the facts.
yes, and just like Tim Carrick, he was King Kong at Lakeside.
Uh-huh.
And he had 2 cars. He had Lakeside car and
Yeah.
he had a Warrensburg
Yeah.
car. And, boy, it was a whole different ball game for him there.
I remember when he was running asphalt at Lakeside and dirt at CMS.
Yeah.
Believe that, Greg? Had an asphalt car and a dirt car.
I remember those days.
And I thought, gosh, how can he do that?
I go back when you run the same car.
Yeah.
Like Terry Phillips' dad.
Okay. What is the best about racing? I mean, is it, what is it that kept you coming back? I mean, there's got to be something that we all love about racing. And what's the best part of it that keeps you coming back?
It's better than sex.
Okay, well,
anyway,
we can have a discussion here. But
This is
anyway,
another
go
one.
ahead.
This is another one. It was just, when the racers say you ain't nervous when you're in line, they're lying.
Yeah.
But it's just when they drop that green flag, it's all over and nothing but, it's a rush that you'll never ever forget. Because, especially if you got to start in the middle, all you see is cars going everywhere, sparks are flying, parts are flying, motors are revving, and you're going, what am I doing out here?
How did I get into this
You're
mess?
getting hit in the back. I said, okay, we got 5 more up here.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, man, I'm spinning around in circles, and here we go.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Trying to hang on to the steering
Yes.
shaft.
Yeah, they cry for mom. But after that, they go, what's them bicycles for? Yeah, hey, and then Terry, that owned the car, he goes, man, that thing's done to me before.
Oh, well,
Well,
really?
change it. Change it. And there's another funny thing. I sold him my Charger car, and he won his first race.
Yeah.
And that following week, he came up to me and goes, Vic, you check this car around, something's wrong with it. It feels like it's vibrating. So yeah, I go out and hot lap it, and I went out there, and all of a sudden, whap! No interior, no shifter, nothing. I see the back of a block.
Oh, my.
And I'm sitting there going, Rain Grimmett, he said push up there. He come up to me, he goes, Vic, you all right? I go, just tell me my legs are still there.
Yeah.
It ripped the drive shaft
Oh,
loop
my
out,
God.
everything, yeah.
Oh, man.
Gauges, shifter, everything.
Oh,
And I told Terry, I said, I found the problem.
Yeah.
It's we're in.
Was. Gosh almighty. Wow. Oh, heck.
That was a good class, though.
Yeah.
But, man, we bought them to keep the late models, full blown like they had it. Then they went with crate motors. That's when Mike took it over.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, me and him had a few problems, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point.
Well, that's the way drivers and
Yes,
owners
just
are.
like that book says. You ain't gonna make many friends. Yeah, boy, that book was right.
I know that there has to have been a lot of people in your career that were encouraging you and saying, Vic, man, I love watching you race. Here, let me help you out. Can you recall a few some of those people
Oh,
were
yeah.
sponsors, friends, family,
Yes,
anybody that you want
yeah.
to shout out and say, hey,
Yes.
folks, thank you.
But yeah, Jeff McLaughlin, he drove me crazy a lot because he'd come up to me when I'm in line. He goes, check this out. I go, what'd you change? He wouldn't change nothing. He just messed with my mind. I don't need that right now. I got all this methanol hit me in the face. I can't, sweat. And what'd you do in my car?
Yeah.
And no, it was my wife, and my 2 girls.
Yeah.
And Jeff McLaughlin, I'd go watch the track, and them girls, I'd tell them what to do, and my daughters, and, well, that's
Right there.
right there. And I just had a good time. It was
Yeah.
a family
Yeah.
ordeal, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, and I think I seen like you were saying, Odell was one of your sponsors.
Well, he built motors, yeah.
Yeah.
He built motors, and,
Any
man,
other people like that helped you out as far as sponsorship wise?
well, that's like whenever you win, they give you the mic. And I take that mic. I'm over there telling people, I love you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here right now. Everybody's going, yeah, throwing beers. And the guy, the official was going right. The official was trying to get the mic from me. He goes, you got any any sponsors? I go, yeah, Big Austin Motorway, Big Austin Motorway.
Yeah.
I had a few other guys, like Rob Petrie and welding companies. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was mostly my
Family.
buddies and family.
Family, friends.
Family was
Yeah.
you got all girls.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
except Jeff.
Yeah.
I know I forgot you last time, but you heard it now.
Greg, we've talked about it how many times on here about how important the wives and your kids are and stuff.
Yes.
He's got enough women. If he upsets one, he just got another one.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Take her place.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
And I've seen a lot of trash cans fly. And, oh yeah. They get in the fights too.
yeah, I bet. Women are women.
Oh, yeah.
We won't go any further.
First
No,
experience,
no.
I had an idler arm come whistling past my ear and stuck in the wall.
Dude, that reminds me of Estes. I was having a problem with water pumps coming off. And I pull in my pits, and here comes Estes rolling in, and he throws this pulley and fan at me. I'm like, ow, dude.
Yeah,
He was strapped in. And I'm like, well, I know he could have jumped out and grabbed that and tied himself back in. I go, dude, who gave that to you? It was hot. He goes, dude, it was flying around in my car. Sparks were flying. I guess the fan and the pulley and everything's going. I was like, wow, dude.
Vic, could we have you come back once a month?
Oh, yeah. You betcha. I'll come back anytime, man.
This
I
has
just
been
love it.
more fun
I love it.
we've ever had. I hate to rate
We-
Greg.
Yeah.
Say something, man.
Reminds me when I was at least 21. I remember that.
Yeah, you remember
But,
that.
man, I had some good times like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a throwback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Greg,
Yeah.
Vic was telling me earlier today when he called to tell me that he was going to be able to make it. He says, I was laying awake last night thinking of stories to tell.
And there were so many of them. I didn't even sleep last night.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I was
Really?
there. I was just going through and going through. There were so many of them. And it was just a good time.
I'm crying. I can't stop.
Drive
I'm
shafts,
sorry.
you know, because I got a lot of videos I'll go back and watch, you know.
Yeah.
The best one was, this was crazy. I just filled my tank up with race fuel, and Daryl Witt,
Yeah.
well, that's when we wasn't really getting along too much.
Uh,
And he kind of scraped me when he passed me. Hey, all right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a black flag, but make it look good, you know. Make him go in the corner just a little faster than he wants to go.
Yeah.
Well, I bumped him, and he spun sideways, and what do? We're sitting there, and all of a sudden, 6 cars here.
Yeah.
And Randy Brent come up, and he goes, Vic, you all right? I go, yeah, I'm doing. Why is he running? All of a sudden, ba-boom! And it was a, and I'm like, that's fuel. And I'm unbuckling. My seat was folded backwards, but I don't know if you remember Ty number 80.
No.
I worked on his race car,
Yeah.
and he didn't see the red. And he's got 2-4. He don't see us all piled up in the turn. And my car was the first one he hit.
Oh.
And it totaled my car out. But you can see where my seat was wrapping my head around the back,
Yeah.
you know, and his car was bent like a banana, and that mess was fuel. 16 gallons of it.
Oh, man.
Me and Daryl Wetz,
Wow.
we're looking at each other and we're unbuckling as fast as
Yeah.
we can, and I can hear us fan back there, and just, I know we're going to spark.
Wow.
Yes, that was probably one of the most scariest moments,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
bet. Yeah.
because I've been on fire,
Yeah.
you know, and
I got to write that down.
Woo!
Scariest moment. I
Yes.
usually don't ask about those, but
yes, but Randy could at least said, look out, Vic.
Yeah.
He didn't. He goes, Vic, you all right? I go, yeah, man. Where's he going?
I'll be darned.
Yeah, he seemed tired. 2-4.
Boy,
He hit me full tilt.
Could be
Wow.
I went up
worse.
there. Oh, yeah, a lot worse. It would have been bad. But I went up there to my brother-in-law. He'd help me out. And I had a piece of lead, and I threw it down. He goes, what's that? I go, that's all we got left. A piece of lead. He goes, oh, it can't be that bad. I go, yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Oh, shoot. Well, Vic, thanks a lot, man. Just stay seated. Don't run off nowhere. But thank you so much
I think
for
you guys.
doing this. I know you had a busy day. I talked with your wife, and she seemed a little concerned about it,
Oh,
about you
yes.
being able to make it, plus
Oh,
you were going to the doctor and didn't know how the medication thing was going to work out and
You did good.
whatever. But man, it has been a pure pleasure, buddy. Here I got to enjoy watching you race, and now we've actually got to sit down and talk for almost 45 minutes.
Yes.
and talk about old times.
Oh, man, there's so many of them.
It has been a ball, and like I say, I appreciate you taking the time to come sit
And
with
I
us. It's been
appreciate
fun.
you guys having me on.
Yeah.
I love talking about it.
Yeah, I know you do, man. I
love
know you
talking
miss
about
it.
I do.
It's got to be like somebody took part of this
That's exactly what it was, too.
Yeah.
and taking it out.
Yes,
Wow.
because I went up to my doctor and they said, you gotta have a doctor's excuse, and he told me, he goes, you'll never race again, Vic. He goes, you know, a wreck like
I
that?
bet that went to your soul.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
I
That's when
cried like a little baby.
Did you really?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I was like, ah.
Nah.
But I just go out there and rub on her and
Yeah.
but like this gentleman here, I enjoy being a car owner too, you know, and and watching Aaron
Yeah. Do what he did.
do what he did with
Yeah.
what I had, and people saw him, and
Yeah.
he just didn't have money for the equipment,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I did, and man, he's a real quiet kid, and we go to Topeka, started 19th, and he ended up second.
Oh, well.
I mean, that's just how good this kid can
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
And then that's when they try to say we cheating. So next thing you know, he goes, we coming back? I go, yeah, we are. They couldn't catch us for cheating. We wasn't
Yeah.
cheating.
Uh,
We came back, and next day they made us start 19th again.
yeah.
He ended up getting in with Terry Davis. Well, he came down on us, and he popped the tire.
Yeah.
And everybody's cheering on, and they put us to the back.
Oh, no.
Oh,
For
yeah.
popping the tire?
Yeah. And then we're sitting there walking down there, bummed out, and all of a sudden Randy takes off running. I look down there, and there's everybody dogpiling, fights, people slinging each other, and I'm going, oh, what? Here we go, you know? So I'm trying to get Randy out there, and 77, he's a cage fighter. He goes, Vic, what's going on? I said, they're trying to kill my driver, I guess. They think Randy's the driver.
Oh.
And it wasn't. I'm looking for Aaron.
Yeah.
Morant, he's over there by my trailer with his helmet. And my wife goes, do you know how to fight? And he goes, no. She goes, you better learn.
Oh, shoot.
There.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what, now I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight. Thinking about some of these stories.
Oh, man, they were
But I hope
welcome.
you do better. But anyway, Greg, do you have anything you want to sum up here tonight? I mean, man, I had a ball. That's all I can say.
I know to keep my microphone to myself when I go down and interview drivers.
Absolutely. I noticed you brought a
What you
sheet of
good at?
paper with you. Do you have anything you want to tell us?
No, that's an accident. It was in my pocket.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you
It's
had
a
something
bill.
to tell us.
You pay water bill.
One of the perks of being the co-host on this show are, do you know of anything special this weekend at KC Raceway and or Valley?
I know of rain is forecast. But Valley will sometimes race. I mean,
Yeah.
you get lucky.
Yeah.
I think KC Raceway is in that situation where Sweet Springs has rained out and he's getting pushed to have a show tomorrow
Yeah.
night. But I don't think he will.
You don't think it would?
But
That's right.
you never know. Watch both those tracks
Yeah.
on Facebook because
Yeah.
you just don't know.
Well, and also you might watch Old 71. I've known them to throw a race together
Well,
in a day.
We've got some die-hard race promoters in the area, and it is glorious.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we didn't have the promoters we'd have empty racetracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
It's like old Larry Castor. We'd be sitting right at the Winston exit, and we're going, are we running? He goes, yeah, we're running. It ain't raining. He don't know we're next door. He wants to get her money. Get up in here.
Yeah, you're a quarter of a mile
yeah,
away.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know how Larry Castor was.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a good old boy, though.
Yeah, he was.
He's a
Absolutely.
good old boy.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, if you've had near as good a time as what I've had, you've had a good time. That's all I can say.
I had a
Because to
good
me,
time.
it's been a very enjoyable, pleasurable show. Want to thank Cameron Key as well as Chad Shields
Yes,
and Vic
You
Austin.
guys.
And Greg Clemens for being here
That's
tonight. I
Greg.
know Greg's probably tired, been driving
I'm
today.
tired, but
Florida man.
it reminded me that all the good times that I had
Yeah.
when I would race from the racetrack back home where I had a 3 o'clock bar.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fun to be had from just opening up and having friends and
Right.
bonding with people.
Yeah.
What it is.
Sometimes we
All
get
it's
so
about.
dang serious,
Yeah,
we forget to have fun.
absolutely.
And man, I would love to go race again with
man.
Bodenhammer and you.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
Man, that was a blast.
we'd have
It
a
was,
blast.
it was, man.
Maybe you guys all need to get into iRacing.
Yeah.
I'll kind of draw a line there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. As we always say, if you enjoyed the show, call a friend, start a watch party, call somebody. Just let them know what we're doing here. We're just having a good time talking about racing and trying to recall the past as well as some of the new people that are doing it, teams that are coming together, different stuff that's happening, and, kind of fill you in on that. And if you didn't like the show, we understand that too, because we probably didn't have your favorite driver on this week or talk about your favorite track or whatever, but we understand that, so here's the thing to do. Get on Facebook during the week, kind of check us out, see what's going to be happening here on Cheeseworks Videos as to who might be on the show. I know I was late today, but things come together late. So, I tried to let you know as soon as we could, but if you missed it, man, you missed the humdinger. That's all I can say. But on behalf of Greg Clemens, McCove Health, Vic Austin, Chad Shields, good night.
And good luck to you
Good
guys.
night. Thanks, Cameron Key.
Yes.
Yes, Cameron Key also.
Yes. He
Over and out.
he was doing a good job.
We got started in the late 80s, early 90s in modifieds, and it was that way.
Oh yeah.
We
It was.
had so much fun.
It was, man, and that's where Lakeside took it out.